name is Zach Orleman, and I'm going to be giving a speech on the art of pitching. Now, baseball is the most complex sport. I believe it's the most complex sport out there. And pitching, in specifically, is even more complex than baseball itself. Just to give a little background, the pitcher is the one in the center of the field who throws the ball. They throw it from a mound that is 60 feet 6 inches away and about 1.5 feet off the ground. So this mound is what allows pitchers to play with the ball and get movement and deceive the hitter. So Warren Spahn, pitching is all about timing, upsetting batter's timing, and Warren Spahn, Hall of Famer for the Atlanta Braves, is quoted saying, "Hitting is about timing, pitching is about breaking up that timing." So I want to talk to you about the various pitches used in baseball, their effectiveness, and what they do. So, the whole thing with throwing different pitches in baseball and why pitchers do it is because the variation of speed difference. You want to upset the hitter's timing and you want to keep them on their toes. And if you throw them the same pitch each time, they can time you up and hit you really easily. So the first pitch that we're going to talk about is the fastball. There's two different ways to throw a fastball. There's a two-seam, which is gripped right down the middle of the seams. And the two-seam gets a little bit of a run. A run is when the ball comes in and kind of cuts to the inside a little bit. This pitch is used typically on the inside of the plate and the bottom half of the plate. And it's not as hard as the four-seam. Four-seam fastball is gripped over the top two seams on the horseshoe of the baseball, and it's the faster of the two balls, and it's oftentimes easier to locate, but it doesn't have as much movement on it, which is why it's easier to locate. It's used, typically you throw it in the upper half of the strike zone and outside. Like to a right-handed hitter, you throw it on the outside of the strike zone. The next pitch I'm going to talk about is the changeup. Now, Chris Tillman, all-star pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, is quoted saying, "Changeup is the great equalizer," meaning this pitch is what changes speeds. It's called a changeup because it changes speed from the fastball. It looks exactly like fastball, but when it comes in, it's about 10 miles an hour slower than the fastball is. So, ball comes in and dives down to the inside. It keeps the hitters on their toes. Typically it's thrown when you're ahead in the count and you want to catch the batter off guard, or right after a fastball. Since it looks just like a fastball, the hitter can't tell what pitch is coming, and they oftentimes get out ahead of the ball and it upsets their timing. Now, the next pitch that pitchers often throw is the curveball, and another variation of the curveball is the slider. Now, the curveball is a slower pitch, and it comes in and loops. Sometimes it's loopy, and it comes in and dives down. And this pitch is used, and it gets batters oftentimes swinging and missing, and it's used in the outside of the plate and then the bottom half of the plate. There's different ways that you can throw the curveball. Most of them involve cutting your arm off and finishing shorter. It's about 10 miles an hour slower than the average fastball, and it's a very effective pitch that many major leaguers use. The slider is just like the curveball with a little sharper break, and it's much harder. The slider is about 4 miles an hour less than your fastball is. So if your average fastball is 90 miles an hour, which is an average major league fastball, then your slider would be about 86 miles an hour. The slider comes in, looks just like a fastball, but at the last second, shoots off to the outside. It's got the same motion, the same braking motion as a curveball does, to the same direction, just not, it's a lot sharper and not as loopy and archy. So, the final pitch that I'm going to teach you about is the knuckleball. Now, the knuckleball is a rare pitch in baseball, however, it's still used. The most common people that use knuckleballs today in the major leagues are R.A. Dickey, formerly of the New York Mets, currently pitches for the Toronto Blue Jays, and recently retired Tim Wakefield, who pitched for the Boston Red Sox. When you throw a knuckleball, you basically don't need to throw any other pitch, not even a fastball necessarily, because the knuckleball is easy on the arm, but what it does is it comes in, you It's gripped on the fingers. It's called a knuckleball, but it's not gripped at the knuckles, it's gripped at the fingernails. And when it's thrown, it comes in with no spin at all. And so the pitcher doesn't know where it's going, the hitter doesn't know where it's going, not even the catcher knows where it's going. Oftentimes they need to wear a bigger mitt when they catch a knuckleballer. The whole purpose of this pitch is it's the quirkiest pitch in baseball, and very, very few people can master the knuckleball. That's why it's so rare. And if you can't throw the knuckleball perfect every single time, it's just like a 60-mile-an-hour fastball coming into a hitter, which just looks like a meatball. Now, with that said, and how hard the knuckleball is to throw, pitching itself with all of these pitches is very difficult to master. So, all of these are effective pitches, but no one ever masters them. No one ever masters all of them. Most guys have 1, 2, 3 pitches in the major leagues. Each pitcher has a specialty. Sometimes you have a guy like Aroldis Chapman who throws 105 miles an hour, or you'll have a guy like Bronson Arroyo who throws 85 miles an hour but has an incredible curveball. So, all in all, without pitching, baseball will be reduced to T-ball, and without pitching, basically, there would be no more baseball. Thank you.